Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob coming to you with another narration series. This one will be the second major, wink wink, major series that I will be doing on this channel. And this one will be running over the week, covering all these side stories that have been so far in Arknights. And today we're going to be starting with the Pinus Sylvestris side story that was just around, like 2 months ago, right before the Neural event dropped, before the Neural Light event dropped, which served both as a sort of character introduction, background story, more lore, all the lore. But yeah, anyway, as suggested from Yossi, once again, on the update episode a couple of weeks ago, because I did ask on that one, like, what people would like to see considering narrations. The suggestion was basically start with something that is more recent, so this is the most recent that I did not cover on the channel so far. Mansfield is done. Neural Light is sorta done. That was live. That one was done live over on Twitch, so again, do not want to see that one for a while. That one is a 11-hour narration and voice acting thing, so no, not for a while, not until maybe potentially a rerun. But yeah, so we're gonna be starting from this event. This will be posted twice a week. The episode should be chunky enough. And we're gonna go back in the timeline. So whatever the update timeline for the stories was, be it reruns or original stories, I'm just gonna work my way back. So after this is done, it's gonna be the, I think, the Maria Light event was right before that, the rerun, and then was another one. Can't remember what that thing was. I need to literally look at the timeline again. But yeah, essentially we're gonna be working ourselves back. It's gonna be a bit of a chaotic thing because it's gonna go back and forth through every single episode, not in any particular order. At least it won't look like it's in a particular order. But again, thank you Yossi for the suggestion. It works very well with what I was intending with when I asked what to tackle first. It's gonna be chaos. It's gonna go all over the place. Now, the only things that I will do out of order are things like new event stories, like the should be very soon around the corner, potentially next week, the Silver Ash story. That will take precedence once that one drops. And if another rerun is happening, some other rerun story, I will tackle that one first. Because, you know, gotta take advantage of the algorithm. Why not? But yeah, anyway, we're gonna start today here on the first two episodes. So, Home and Dropping Gray. And yeah, we're gonna keep going with that. So anyway, let's get into the Pinus Sylvestris stories. Starting off with the first episode, titled Home. Here we go. "15 nights, 15 chances to take the prize. Who's the knight tonight? Who are you betting on? And who's going to walk out of the bloodbath with a handful of gold? Who'll stride through the storm to win our admiration? We're 10 minutes away from the official start of the match. Don't miss this chance to get filthy rich overnight. You'd only end up kicking yourself. Now let's witness the birth of a rising star." "What's your name? Do you need something? Come on, drop the act for a minute. It's not every day you see a Arknight around here, so I'm just popping over to say hi, that's all." Nervous? Are you infected too? I mean, who wouldn't be? Only infected would fight a match like this. Our lives are a goddamn game here. What you staring at me for? Spooky. It's just, you seem a little familiar. Trying to cozy up to me? No, maybe you're right about Arknights being pretty uncommon. Well, since life bundled us together, how about we team up? Huh? Quit playing around. I'm in this too. To give the knight nobility a little hands-on knock-knock. How did in your eyes? It's too obvious. There's disdain, there's anger, and they've been your bywords for a little too long. Those couple of big shot knights up in the stands, they're beginning to notice you, you know. This place isn't worth that. Don't jump to conclusions, okay? Take a look around. What are the different kinds of infected knights around here? Some bought up by the big shots as a little gambling pastime. There's a share in it for them if they make it, and if they lose, whew boy, let's not get into that. Of course, you've got some anonymous nobodies, thirsty for a real-ass high-riding knight, or some merchant to pick them out, thirsty to become a tool. They've got no other way. Infected never get any other way. What are you getting at? Come on, let's team up, okay? Your chances in a melee, see, they're always better with a little personal alliancing, you know? So, why do you want to win then? For the prize money? No, because I can't let anyone else win. The hell? There's something going on behind this match. A couple of infected. I'm not too sure yet, but my worries, they've settled on it, so to speak. They've decided to trample the others, haul themselves on up, for better odds of survival. The only real choice, right? Too real or plenty here not to be thinking it. That's why I can't let them win. If someone wins, someone loses. Big whoop. But if someone's living, then someone's dying. A vague sense of justice isn't gonna win you much trust. But sure, right now is make or break for Knight Association approval. I'm in, Zalek and Zalek. Beats teaming with some rando any day. Eh? For real? If you just came over to screw with me, then I'm gonna start with you. Whoa, 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 no, I'm real. Let's take this melee together, Ashley. Grey Nutty Kaliska. Kaliska? Joke of a surname. Just pretend you don't know, even if you've heard of it before. Now, let's welcome. You can call me Sona, Ashley. Sona. What's up? Back then, at the end, you took my points out of nowhere, didn't you? Ashley, come on, that was come on, are you still not over that? Don't you think I might be a little stuck on it? Well, but not because you stole the crown from me. You said you couldn't let anyone else win, and I was just the same. What are you overreacting for? We only just met then. It's normal not to trust. No, well, actually, yeah. Look, weren't we going to see how the infected ghetto was doing? Let's move. Allow me to come up with an excuse to restore our bonds of nightclub trust. Since when were we in a nightclub? Heh. Since sooner or later, Ashley. You mean that nightclub for infected? Pinus Sylvestris. I came from around Victoria, if you're curious. Plenty of that sort of pine tree around, back when I was young. These days they're all long gone, though. Pinus Sylvestris. Sylvestris. You were one of those Zalek who got hit by the catastrophe. You got left for dead by the Knights too. The Kaliskas abandoned you. Let it go, Ashley. It's bygone stuff. But then your infection was my family's fault. Didn't you already break from your family? They don't count as family anymore then. You're not feeling any guilt for me. Not on my watch. Alright, weren't you just talking about how I stole your championship? We're even. So, you're Flametail Sona? You know me then? Not many infected around who win night titles. I know them all. So Pinus Sylvestris is led by the one and only Flametail Sona. Huh, that puts me at ease then. You look after those kids? I do. But I only took them in, and a couple of them aren't infected actually. I was gonna send them to an aid station somewhere, so I can't come along for the ride. Sorry, Flametail. Can I get your name at least? Jamie. Call me Jamie. Jamie then. You said you know a couple of infected knights. Every infected keeping up the independent fight is an ally invading. I remember one making a big splash lately. A Liberi, a sniper. You're right, and there's a Kuranta. She's a leader to a couple infected knights, and to others, Wildbane. Yo, Ivona, tired? Hey there, Sona. You, seem pretty smooth rolling still. Strong stuff. Not really, just always gotta keep up some of the lax act. You're tired too. Don't know you felt it. Figured you were always like that on the forward march. Huh. That proves you trust me though. Looking that beat in front of me. So this armorless union biz, how do we deal with them? Do everything we can to keep them from knowing where exactly the infected are settled. So long as they hide in the city, an infected's got nowhere to go. We'll get found sooner or later, Sona. This isn't gonna solve anything. You need to think of some way... Nah, maybe we ought to dump everything on your back. I'm sorry. Yeah, chewing over this stuff isn't my style, but you ought to run your own load too heavy, Sona. We're here for you. She's an infected, isn't she? How'd she get so many points? Not just that, Knight of Knights had a whole spread for her interview a few days ago. They either take underground fights for money or uncompensated battles just to get a title from the association. How do infected like her even survive? So that's Justina. She looks frail as a twig. Where's the skill? You ever hear the one about books and covers? But the papers haven't been duly proper to her lately. How many times have they ever been proper to infected? Actually, forget that. When have the media ever cared about being fair to anyone? Can we believe anything that Armorless Goon said? It's something to go off. Beats having no ideas at all. What's our plan? That's what I'm talking about, Justina. Get that feather knight. To the left, behind the stone bunker. Yeah, that's it. No. Don't peek out. You'll be cloaked. No. She's pretty popular, huh? Might not even want to join us. If she keeps doing what she's doing, she'll be titled sooner or later. Make a killing riding that wave of popularity. Maybe she can go find somewhere quiet to live out her days. If that's that kind of infected, can we really talk them into helping us? We can't talk anyone over. But this city forces infected to make a choice in the end. Honestly, it might just force everyone. I hardly ever see you this pessimistic. You're the one who asked. I'm here hoping the Flametail Knight will declare to me, no problem, it's all under control. No problem, it's all under control. The Adeptus prevailably? Shh. Still not certain. Besides, it's still ambiguous how the Adeptus treat infected. How would any of those knights' families give a thought for the infected? We're just outsiders to them. They'd never let us get away. No matter how arrogant they are, I'd still take 500 of them over the KGCC. Dumb, shameless assholes. You've got a soft spot for campaign knights. Heh, they're the knights who fought Ursus of the Grasslands. Tops clowns on stage, winning points with the audience any day. Ursus, all I know of them is the news I saw when I was young. Ursus lost their war with Higashi. Of course, the knights cranked up their publicity machine. You know about the war between Ursus and Higashi, too. Hey, they forced me to read a dead tree or two when I was young. It was all stuff on the modern history of the campaign knights. I can't imagine it. Ioana sitting at a table holding a book. It's too far-fetched, inconceivable. What? You're from a campaign knight family, I think? Studying is not out of the question for you, I guess. Is this how you all see me? 10 years after the 10th Casimir's Ursus War, the Emperor of Ursus got seriously sick, and everything annexed from Casimir's fell into the nobles' hands. The Crown Prince picked up on the corruption inside the military even before succession, goading two armies to rise up as a distraction. No way the Ursus nobles could ever agree on the plan, but they were all born and raised in this nation of chaos. They sent their own forces out against Higashi without any arguments, so they could cover up their own crimes, which led to Higashi launching an attack of their own on Ursus far beyond what anyone expected, and in the end, the decisive battle took place inside Ursus territory. Geez, didn't know you had straight history lectures in you, Ivona. No clarification on those bits that obviously got mixed in. At that point in Casimir's, a good deal of the knights thought they should strike while Ursus was up to their ears in it. And in all the unrest, they'd take back the cities they lost 10 years ago. Ivona? And that was 1072, 25 years ago. My grandparents were there with the scouts who resisted Ursus, only to get strangled by the army before they could really rise up. I wish I got to know them. Hey, don't take it so hard. That's the past. I'm not a campaign knight anymore, so I jump when you say jump, Sona. Enough about me. Let's talk about your plans now. This morning, Jamie got 3, maybe 4 new infected in on his end. Miners infected in a small industrial accident, but the contractor declined to reimburse their medical fees. So with nowhere to go, they ended up with the police out for them. And that's not the end. We've had over 10 normal infected join us this month already, right? They live in the darkest, dankest corners of the Grand Knight territory. We've got no way to settle them. Sona? We've still got time. We've got power. We'll find a way. But I won't let any innocent infected end up risking themselves with us. If the Adeptus really will let us all have legal identities again, live on in Casimir's, then we have no other choice. Man, this is some party. Flametail Knight Sona. You are suspected of illegally harboring infected, publicly violating the Knights Association Code of Conduct. Put an end to your resistance. Hand over the illegal infected, and we will report your case to the Knights Association. Must have missed this. Armless have authority to help settle biz for the police and knights now. Let's all be honest. Don't you guys feel ashamed when you use the law as this big pompous excuse? Your provocations will get you nowhere, Flametail Knight. We have already overstepped the mark. Here in the Grand Knight territory, drawing the Chamber's gaze is tantamount to death. Death? That's some scary stuff there. A biological death is not death's only sense, Flametail Knight. The more chances for survival Casimir's accords us, the more deaths it creates for us down the line. All hands, take aim. Shelling from the rear? Sona, I'm here. It's backup from the Pinus Sylvestris nightclub. Surround them. Justina. Roger, laying cover fire. Sorry, Sona. I'm going in. Do infected cry? What? Infected. I don't mean the knights who had the guts to resist the chamber. I mean all the normal infected. They just got a ripathy, right? Yes? They're not monsters, and they're not scum of the earth either. I'm not all that into this assignment. Don't ever let the Lazarites hear you say that. But still, have you found some sort of compassion for them, Platinum? Huh. Compassion. Not really, I guess. I don't even get the time for myself after all. Compassion's a luxury kind of deal these days. Huh. I've got other assignments. Dealing with the infected is pretty small time. You guys have it. It doesn't matter what tantrums Adeptus throws at the KGCC. Neither's gonna wanna keep infected in the Grand Knight territory. The nobles aren't gonna care whether the infected live or die, are they? How the... Flametail! It's the Armorless. The Armorless suddenly attacked us. Stay calm. What went down? They sealed up the streets nearby 2 hours ago. We were busted long ago, and then they used gas to force us out of the houses. A few knights picked up on it. They used their own bodies to block the Armorless shots, but some still... Where do we go next? If the Armorless Union gets us the first time, they'll get us the second, the third. We... Save the eulogies. First we need to move the rest of the infected. Should we get out of the Grand Knight territory? Go somewhere in the countryside. At least let get the infected civilians out of here. We've been leaning on our knighthood so hard to give them some kind of cover. When there is no knighthood involved, when they're out of the Grand Knight territory, it's only gonna get worse for them. So we just take it? We give up and accept this? The Adeptus. We still have that on the table, don't we? Sona. I'm back. How was it? I was dealing with an old knight, definitely one of the Adeptus higher-ups, no doubt about it. But we don't trust the Grand Knight territory nobles too hard, Sona. It was Damien, vice president of the association. Huh. Huh, there's a big guy for you. VP Damien, the renowned campaign knight. I remember him. Huge ruckus for the news when he was discharged and came back to the territory to do boring old civil service. A descendant of the heroes, like that one Maria girl. And the conditions? If we're back here, that means there's been actual headway, correct? What conditions did the Adeptus preventively set? A separation. A great separation. He wants to borrow our efforts to put the city to sleep. What's that mean? That's how the plan goes, roughly. We can do this, right? Are you asking me? Maybe. I'm not giving up until I see those damn knight nobles bowing to me. You guys? Real simple plan. We fail if we're not strong enough. We get even stronger next time. We're good. Long as we don't die, yeah? Relax. Uncoil. Don't get nervous. Pinus Sylvestris just needs to stay Pinus Sylvestris, and we'll be fine. Whether or not we succeed, we only have one way open to us. There's no difference, really. Difference, huh? Sona? You've been zoning out a lot lately. What's wrong? Nah, nothing really. Let's go. We gotta find a place for the infected still. Run away! Hurry! Away from the sawdust. Fire everywhere. Chokes your sinuses. The soil's too hot to touch. Or originium. Gashing. The Kaliskas abandoned their subjects. Did I fall asleep on a bench? Ashley'd be on my case again if she was sitting here. A lot of people out on the street. Infected under the Knights Association's supervision aren't allowed to walk around freely. If all these pedestrians knew there was an infected out in the broad moonlight here, I wonder what they'd think. Without knowing why, a thought flits through Sona's mind. They wouldn't think much. Pedestrians bustle, coming and going as life demands, melting together under the rainbow lights. The Zala-cold Flametail silently watches the city before her. Oh hey, it's Ashley. What's up? Trouble. Sona, they found the underground shelter. We're not gonna make it in time to move everyone. Whoever we save, we save. Hurry, get back. This is an infected. Right here. Alright, and on to the second story, Dropping Gray. Where are we going, Granny? It's not the right time for you to ask. Hold tight to your pouch and stay close to me. Yes, Granny. We're almost there. What's that there? An arena, built by bastards from the Grand Knight territory. Are we going to see a match? A match? No. I'm taking you for training. Do you still remember the things I taught you? Yes, Granny, I haven't forgotten any. It's shield up, cannon up, and bombard. Eyes on the enemy. Watch your ammunition. Don't let your cannon go. And, when a cannon fire rings through the air, victory is already within sight. Very good. You're a lot more dependable than your father. At least someone else will remember these before I close my eyes for good. Please don't be so gloomy, Granny. Heh. A tree may be a century old, but its roots will all be rotten. Better to be fertilizer for the new buds than to wither away like this. Granny, it's alright. It was just a little cough. Nothing to worry about. Your father's generation. Even my few brothers. They all long forgotten how the Kaliskas came to prosper. Forestry? That forest was given back to us upon our high deeds, upon our cannon fire. When the cannon fire rings through the air, victory is already within sight. All those bastards with all their money can't even remember the saying. Granny, please don't get angry. Grey Nutty, you're a good sprout. Don't grow twisted. Yes, Granny, I won't disappoint you. The Blood Boil Nut Club's butcher of the field, back after nursing those injuries, is ruthless as ever. And on the other side, once the forest magnate of the south, a name out of the Kaliska group. But now an infected, part of the Pinus Sylvestris nightclub. Let's give him a warm welcome to... Granny? Relax, Granny already taught me. I can do this. I'm ready. The Arknights, Grey Nutty Kaliska. Man, oh man, Ashley finally takes the field. She's never in a hurry, never gives the audience the time of the day either. Traveling just isn't Grey Nutty. That's her selling point. Some people are suckers for that. Look over there. Grey Nutty, look at me! Yeah, it works. There's no faking cheers. And that posture, the hunker with the cannon, it's got noble written between the lines. Of course I'm still most excited for her to fire off though. Well, you're gonna get that. The crowd's gone wild hearing the rumbles. Just wish there was more to get a kick out of. What, you want to hear bashing with her? You want her bashing with the barrel? Man, I hope I see it, if it ever happens. Humongous hatchet meets sturdy shield. Who'll come out on top? We'll just have to wait and see. Switch your terminals on, make your choice, and give your competitor your support. And before we forget the most important part, grab the chance to stuff your wallet full. Let the match begin. You best not hope that hunk of plastic holds out. Horrific filth. Bah, that's all. She's not even saying anything. This isn't your first time watching Ashley compete. It's called being serious. Do you know what being serious is? But this is mad boring. If you don't vent your feelings, how are you gonna keep momentum against your opponent? Night competitions aren't yelling contests, cheese. The important thing is to look good standing off. See? Just like that. Rastras getting forced back and everyone's on cloud 9, right? You don't think this match is too calm though. Barely any active attacks. You gotta pick your opponents. With knights like Brassrast, who go all out on offense, you wanna put together a good defense to be optimal. And Ashley can use her favorite move now. Block with the shield bash, get a shot in, try it and test it. Ashley doesn't seem that hungry to attack this match. What's on her mind, huh? It's a shocker! The Butcher's Cleaver has nowhere to go before the Ashlock Knight. Each time he attacks, each blast he takes, Ingra gives, but he gets nothing. The Ashlock Knight's defense is perfect, and she's making every step forward hers, squeezing down the space between the Butcher's space the Butcher has to move. Without a doubt, this is a battle of back and forth. We won't know who will wear the victory laurel until the final moment. Get your terminals out and lay your bets on your knight of choice. Or buy a water bottle with your contestant's logo straight away, specially provided by the Major, and let the crowd around you know just who you support. Order now, we're ready to hook you up right there in your seats. That's something they do now? They do, but these prices. Why don't I just step out of the arena and come back with 10 bottles? You wouldn't order one. Just one. Just to try. Can you do anything besides shrink behind that plastic board? Huh. You'll have the time to scream once I shatter it, Rockfester Mouse. A petty firm like the Kaliskas would never collect your corpse. Pulls trigger. What? Ashley's pissed now. Ingra's being too cruel though. What's he keep yanking her sore spots for? Calixa Forestry used to be pretty well known, but you don't hear much about it in the news lately. Can't be something to do with Greenhuddy. If they had her doing this, they might still be as big as ever. Doing piss poor management yourself, taking it out on the others. Not a recipe for company success. I heard it was at the table she got expelled from her family, facing her uncles and aunts, voted out by all. Unanimous passage. So her mom and dad. Yeah, I hear blackmail had them throwing their own daughter out. Had the funds for Ashley to head Grand Knight territory ways later though. But you probably figured, you know, there's your parents, and everything sensible says they oughta be with you, and they put their hands up too. That's just gotta hurt. Good thing Ashley's strong enough stuff. Especially strong. She can't be pissed real? Let me look. We're good. It's normal enough to be mad at a time like this, right? For sure, I'd ream a hole straight through Brastros before thinking about the rest. Ashley takes fights to cerebral, and ammo runs out. If she fires a round throwing a fit, she might just be boned. Still, that'll be the phase where she makes Brastros think she's angry. After all, misleading your opponent's important too. Look. I'm floored and bet you are too. Ingra's shoulder plates have been blasted to smithereens. The Arknight is still pressing forward, step by step. Could victory be at hand? Is the proclamation coming? Another crack of shellfire. It looks like the Arknight got her own personal victory salute covered. What's this? Did you see that, everyone? Brastras just cleaved the shell apart with his hatchet. But we'd be remiss not to thank our two contestants. You only get spectacles like this on the soaps. That's right, I'm talking about the classic scene from the slow-mo-funded Suspense in the City production, 24 Nights in the GKT. Anyone in the audience interested, you can put an order in for the discs straight away. The first 30 to buy will get a poster signed by the two leads. First comes, first served. Don't miss out. Phew, man. This is basically the same as convenience store water. Didn't I warn you already? Whatever, let's just say I bought it for her. Forget that. Mop never misses a chance to shill, huh? Really gets on your nerves. That's his job, isn't it? What else would he do? Who thought Brastras could cut a shell clean through, though? Really forced an ad spot right into Mob's lap. If only Ashley didn't go soft for a moment. Wanted to knock Brastras down, didn't aim for his head. Match would have been over by now. Her magazine's gotta be drying up. Only one shot left, I think. Time to swap mags. Here's hoping Ingra doesn't give our Ashley any trouble then. One round left. Gotta push him off, hop back on the recoil, and that should give me enough time. With Ingra's competition style, he shouldn't have any out. This is the moment. Is that all you can do? He sped up. Shit. Is that a thruster on Brastras's shoes? There's a wrench in the plan. You've got this, Ashley. You're out of shells. What else can you do? Do you still have ammo, Ashley? None. I just used the reserve to block the bolts. What now then? Gonna bash with the barrel? If you need it, I can make a distraction for you. And then ride the opportunity to take my points like last time. Come on, let it go already. We'd only just met then. be a problem on having your guard up. I won't do it again. We agreed on that. I can trust you not to sacrifice others, other infected for your own benefit, Grey. So you can trust Sona here not to stab you in the back. Right? I suppose. So, how are you gonna face down these knights now? I can definitely make you a little space. Shot if you need me. I won't. I've got my methods. Fresh from the advantage, the Ashlock Knight has caught out reloading. Brasros begins his revenge. Could the Butcher's Cleave taste blood when all's said and done? Just how is the Ashlock Knight gonna counter? There she goes. She's thrown her empty magazine at Brasros, but it's had no... Oh, wait a moment. Wait a moment, sister. She's thrown her cannon down too, and is charging Brasros. What is she up to? Ingra's got his weapon up, and the Ashlock Knight only has a shield to her name. Ashlock has blocked the battle axe, and oh, she's clocked him straight in the head. I heard it all the way from here. Oh, back to back and hand to hand. It's a barrage. Ingra's on the retreat. Grenade is rolled right back to her weapon, swapped and loaded. Not a beat missed. Is Ingra in for another artillery lockdown? Aha! We're once again treated to the sound of cannon fire. The Ashlock Knight has the situation back under control. Might be a little ugly, but that's a pretty practical way to disengage. Never dreamt she'd go so fast once she dropped that cannon though. Ashley's a Zalek too, you know. A little agility is part for the course. So why won't she use a light weapon like yours? Personal preference, I guess. I suggested she could switch to a more area-friendly long-range javelins, crossbows, slings, stuff like that. She's not a fan of any of them, just like using that old family cannon. She can't even put it to full use sometimes, and the maintenance is pain. That's stubborn, alright? You get used to it, you know. I think she's down to her last 8 rounds. If she runs clean out, what happens? I've got no idea. What does happen? I've never seen Ashley use up all of her reserve ammo before. Are you toying with me, Ashlock? Say something, you damned rock. Pulls trigger. How long do you plan on playing the mute? I've had enough. Enough of this. Man, Ashley's really in another level of horrible. There's no way she was planning a tug of war with Ingra from the start, was she? She doesn't respond, she doesn't get down. She gets me mad too. Why? Oh, Justina, you made it! Why is Ashlock bent on humiliating Brasros? That's a long story. When I ran into Ashley, she was stoked on anger, wrath for all the old Knight Lords at the top of the stands. The other infected knights thought she just resented the old guard, pure and simple. But if she wasn't infected, she'd be a Knight Noble too. I've heard. Post-infection, no one her generation or above in her Knight family showed her any sympathy. Everyone put the blame on the family's slow fall on her. Normal people wouldn't know that's nothing to do with getting ill. But that's what they did. Her family, every Kaliska Zalek, agreed to strip Ashley of her position and boot her out of their lineage. She used to trust all the family so much. She loved sharing fun stories with them, comparing techniques with them. But in the end, no one she thought a friend reached out a hand to help. I heard some were looking to have her disappear altogether. It can't be that bad. One day, I was there, helped keep them off Ashley. So you can guess why Ashley has such a bitter hatred for the old Knight Lords. As for Brasros Ingra, every single thing he does is a deep sting on Ashley's heart. That's what's going on. I'm guessing it's why she was ready to stand off in a close contest until the end. To bring a lofty high-ranking knight straight into the ground, and to keep her own anger in check. Hey, Justina, can you tell me how many shells Ashley has left in her mag for me? 4. Oh. Nearly closing time. A fierce offensive has not toppled the Ashlock Knight, and Brastras is beginning to wear out. He's readying for the final charge. This marathon back and forth is about to pay off. Ladies and gentlemen, knights and dames, keep an eye on your betting numbers. Who knows if you're suddenly in for a prize when the results come in. This post-match lottery is sponsored by Roar Guards Co., and the rates will boggle your mind. An astonishing 0.5%. If you still haven't placed your bets, you have one last chance now. Ingra has lifted his hatchet, the blade of the abater. Greynati assumes a defensive position. We're about to see who wins and who loses. Jeez Louise, when did Ashley make off with my moves? Brastras is charging. He is still charging. Ashlock has her shield up, but she's pointed the barrel backwards. Could you be taking Brastras for a head-on impact? Both are coming in hot. Red, yellow, white hot. What? Ashlock accelerated with her shelling and has sailed straight by Brastras's hatchet. Too fast, way too fast. She's ditched her shield, the barrel against Ingra's back. She's pulled the trigger. The Brastras Knight is down. The Ashlock Knight has taken the win. Hold on. Now Ashlock is aiming the barrel at Brastras again. Could it be the day that tyrannical Ingra is humiliated himself? Urgh. A Zalak shrunken in a shell. Ashlock Greynati, I'll remember you when I'm healed. You infected will not live to tell the tale. You pulls the trigger. Aims the barrel at the sky. This shell is an offering to the spectators. You don't deserve it. You... Ugh. The Ashlock Knight has not dealt a closing blow to Ingra. With a final blast of a shell, she's left alone for the exit. Greynati, Greynati. This match's lottery prize. How did you feel on that run? Not that good, father. My hand still gets tremors holding the cannon lance for too long. Do you want to switch to a lighter weapon? No, the cannon lance suits me. Its might makes up for what I lack in flexibility. And besides, someday I might not be fighting in the arena, but somewhere much vaster. Just like grandmother. When that time comes, this weapon will surely be much more practical. All right, as you wish. My little nut. Father, I'm not a child anymore. You don't need to call me that. Fair. Greynati, you did well in training. If Grandma could see the strides you've made, I'm sure she'd be delighted. Grandmother. Before Grandmother left, she made an agreement with some of the uncles. As long as you're willing to learn, they'll continue to pay your fees. So you don't need to worry about money. Whether or not you become a knight in the end, or inherit the family business. Keep practicing, and there'll be a day you become a famed cannon lancer of Casimir's. How many generations it's been since the last Kaliska had a true cannon lancer. All your ancestors would be proud of you. Don't let them down. Yes, father. I won't. Hey, Ashley. Ashley? Hmm? What's the matter? What were you daydreaming about? Nothing. Just thinking. Poor Ingra. Just came out of the hospital and you sent him right back. He deserves it. And you still fired your last round in the air? The match was already over. Even if I can't stand the sight of Ingra, I won't do anything else to him. Otherwise, what would separate me and him? Shame. I was looking forward to a butcher suffers slaughter type headline in the papers. Chances are the Ingra family wouldn't let that news into the papers at all. Sona, I've actually been meaning to ask you for a little bit now. What's up, Ashley? What are you holding there? An Ashlock water bottle. Why would you buy something so useless? It worked out. I was thirsty, I couldn't be bothered to go out to buy water. Yo, our knight returns triumphant. I'd have to learn more from you too, Ashlock, and become stronger. Justina, how did that go? It's done. Alrighty, good work, nice. Once the reward hits, I'll wire it over to that account. Where is the bank there is already watching frequent transfers? Can we still use personal expenses for the ruse? What do you think? Yeah, fair. We don't have much time left. But we don't need to think about it just yet. First, let's go celebrate. Alright, and that will do it for the first episode. Boy oh boy, these side events have some chunky story. Okay, but anyway, this has been Jacob with another Arknights narration for the Pinus Sylvestris side story, and I will see you in the next part. Bye bye.